What up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Umpire 161 show. Blah 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 blah. Getting all tongue tied here. I think the change of intro music threw me off there for a second. So, yeah, what's up, everybody? So, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Whether it's on the Facebook stream through Pop Culture Pros or our own Empire 161 show group page, whether it's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, the audio only version, wherever you find your podcast. Always appreciate the support. With me now and always moving forward, Lisa Garcia. What is up?
Hey, yes, it is officially official that we are the team that you're going to be talking to and hanging out with every time we do the podcast. So thank you for having me as your partner in crime on this as we discuss the Yankees and baseball. I'm always excited to talk about that. Hey everybody. It's great to have everybody joining us, and thank you for your support as always. This week we're going to talk about some of the trades that have been happening across major leagues. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Guardians. We're going to talk about, remember like what seems like forever ago when the Yankees played the Red Sox at home, and then they played the Phillies for a hot second, and then they went to Boston and played the Red Sox again. Now, I know we might not want to talk about all the games, especially yesterday's. Yesterday's was really tough, but we're going to get through that all. We're going to cover it all, and you may have heard that we started with some new music today. So Ed and I are switching some things up now that I am officially co-host. We decided to make a couple of changes and a couple more in the future. So we're going to start each of our episodes now with walk-up music from the players. And I believe today was DJ LeMahieu, if I'm not mistaken, one of his songs, right?
Today was definitely DJ LeMahieu's song that he's had since he joined the team. So we really, you might hear that one moving forward when we go past it in the rotation. We pretty much decided to change up the intro music. We'll mix it up with different players' walk-up musics. We'll have fun. After we go through the current players, maybe we'll go through past players. I mean, shit, Derek Jeter had an entire jukebox full of walk-up songs, man. It was pretty wild. Relievers music, starting pitchers, warm-up music, whatever it is, we'll keep it Yankee-oriented, but that's kind of the game plan moving forward. We're toying around with our awards of the week names, so might bounce around a couple. We'll see when we settle on one. But yeah, it's pretty exciting, pretty fun to see where this goes. So
yeah, and let us know what you think about some of the things that we are putting out there. Of course, we want your feedback. That's we hope you come back and enjoy it every time. And to make what we do better, we need to hear from you too. So feel free to throw some chats. Some comments in the chat, or hit us up when you see the replay of the show down the road. But definitely appreciate your feedback too, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. But one thing that it's not going to change is we're going to definitely kick off the show with our This Week in Baseball, our TWIB segment, where we talk about things that are not necessarily Yankees related. So I think some of the biggest news that we got of the week, which it was, I want to say Friday? I think Friday it dropped, where we found out that the baseball team in Cleveland has changed their name to the Cleveland Guardians. So Lisa, so what do you got? I know you got some research and some tidbits on this new name for Cleveland baseball that'll be starting in 2022. So what's up?
Yeah, so when I heard about the name, I was like, oh, where'd that come from? I actually have a friend who's from Ohio, not from Cleveland, but from Ohio. And I asked them, I'm like, what's that about? And he was like, I'm not really sure about that. So it might be a Cleveland specific thing, which totally makes sense. But when I looked it up, I learned that it's actually an ode to an iconic landmark in Cleveland called the Guardians of Traffic. And they're located in 4 different pillars on the Hope Memorial Bridge, which is located right across from Progressive Field. The bridge crosses I hope I'm saying this right, Cuyahoga River, and connects the east and west parts of Cleveland together. They were built in 1932, and fun fact, Bob Hope, the famous comedian, his dad helped build the bridge. So that's how far back things go. And Bob Hope apparently was a huge Cleveland Indian fan back in the day. And according to David C. Barnett of WCPN, each of the Guardians on the bridge, they hold a different mode of transportation in their hands. So there's one that holds a stagecoach, one that holds a hay wagon, one that holds a brand new car circa 1920 because they were built in 1932, and several trucks. And it's supposed to be a blessing for the people that are moving across the bridge. And for more information, people can check out the Cleveland franchise's Twitter handle, and they posted a really great video that the Black Keys played music to, and Tom Hanks narrated, and they're all Ohio natives. So
I was going to ask you because when I first saw the announcement, I watched the video that was with Tom Hanks, and I'm like, I'm assuming Tom Hanks is from Cleveland. I never really thought of where Tom Hanks is from, so I was like, oh, okay, all right, I guess he's from Cleveland. I'm assuming that, because if he's not, that would be pretty weird.
Pretty weird. I guess it's like our version of Billy Crystal, right?
Yeah, exactly. So. I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool. What did you think of the logos? I mean, I think some of it looked a little bit similar to what they have, because I saw there was one logo that just said Cleveland in red with the blue, and that kind of looks like something they've been wearing already. So I'm sure they're probably trying to change some things up, but yet keep certain things the same, so it's not completely, a shock to the system for the fan base or for anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only difference was the baseball with the wings and the G instead. Yeah. So, but to me, everything else, I'm looking at it right now as I speak again, and everything else pretty much looked the same to me as well. So, I think that'll be like a source of comfort. A lot of people don't like change, right? And when it's something as iconic as the name that they were going by for many years, it'll take people time to adjust to it. And people could say, that's the team I grew up with. I'm not going to call them the Guardians. So kind of keeping things as close to what people were used to as possible while still putting those changes in effect, I think will be, an easy transition for people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think some people will make us think about it now. Like, I'm sure there's some people just, like you said, they don't like change. They don't want to adapt to things and get on with the times. But whatever, they'll be fine with it. I'm sure there were people in Tampa who were not thrilled with the changing of the Devil Rays to the Rays, and they probably.
I mean, that wasn't a far jump, though.
No, it's really not.
Far of a jump.
but the reason why they cut out the Devil Rays, I personally thought was a little ridiculous, because I mean watch, I'm gonna mess this up. The fish that was referred to as, it's still called the Devil Ray. I mean, they were naming it after the Devil Rays, but there were people in Florida who are up in arms because they had the word devil in their name. And I mean, coincidentally, as soon as they did change it, they actually got really good, and they've been good since. So maybe getting rid of the devil thing worked for them. I don't know.
Listen, some folks may say when you get rid of the devil, your life changes.
That's it, right? They exorcised the demons out of Tropicana Field. And unfortunately, we've had to deal with their BS since then. I mean, they've been a pain in the butt for the Yanks for since they became the Rays.
Yeah.
But for a while, whenever we beat them, I would say, something? You'll always be the Devil Rays to me, my friend. That's it. We're always going to treat you like you were when you were the Devil Rays. So. All right, no, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think it's it's an exciting thing for Cleveland to get their new name and to get things moving on. But we also have some trades, some movement happened. One of them involving the Yankees, but we'll save that for last, as that'll be a nice transition to our Yankees portion. But the Mets picked up the immortal Rich Hill, and they needed a left-handed starter, so they did pick that up. I think that was on Friday, if I remember correctly. Rich Hill's like 50 years old, but he started, he started on Sunday for them and gave them a solid start. But that was from the Rays moved on from Rich Hill. The Pirates they made two trades, one with the Yanks, but the other one was to the Padres. They traded Adam Frazier, who's currently leading the National League in hits. And that's a guy that I had mentioned a couple episodes ago that I really wanted for the Yankees. I mean, he's a second baseman. He's an outfielder. So he offers versatility. He's a left-handed bat. He doesn't strike out a lot, puts the ball in play. Kind of sounds like a guy the Yankees might want to look into, at the trade this week or maybe even this offseason. But unfortunately, the Padres were able to get him and continue loading up their roster. Their infield now, right, with Jake Cronenworth now at first, Frazier at second base, Fernando. I was almost gonna say it. I was on. Lisa, help me out. Fernando Tatis.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Please don't be Joe Buck.
I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it. Listen, you know I'm a mixed character, so I had to get that correctly. I want to get it correctly. I should get it correctly. So that's their shortstop, and Manny Machado at third base. They have literally an all-star infield.
Mm-hmm.
Now. Like the entire team, the entire infield was on the NL All-Star team. I mean, they're really, really going after it this year. So, I mean, kudos to them because, I mean, the Padres they've always kind of went half in, but never really went all the way in, to go after, the division and go after the playoffs. So they're really making a run with it. They got a young, exciting team out there in Petco Park, so that's pretty cool to see. Even though it's a guy I'm a little bummed. When I saw Adam Frazier was traded, I was like, please God, let it be happen. And then, and then I feel like and then also the Rays. Speaking of the Rays, they picked up Nelson Cruz, who's probably, I got to look this up. Is he older than Rich Hill? I mean, he might be. I don't know.
I think I heard he was 41 or 42.
Yeah, they're both up there. I mean, I'm sorry. I really should have checked this out, but.
41. He's 41.
He's 41, right?
Yeah, he just turned.
So he just turned 41. Rich Hill is Baseball Reference. Damn you for not having this on here and ready to go. You have everything else except the guy's age. Are you serious? That's ridiculous.
Rich Hill is also 41. He's a few months older.
Oh, wow. Okay, so at least I can stick on saying that I knew that Rich Hill was older. I mean, I still remember when Rich Hill got drafted in one of my fantasy baseball leagues when he was an up and coming pitcher, and it caused a whole argument there. So, yeah, that was something that was okay, whatever. But he never quite panned out. But he's been a pain in the butt for a lot of teams because he's just master of old school breaking ball, and that's kind of what he does. So, yeah, there have been some trades. So the trade deadline is the 31st. So there could be some moves coming down the line for the Yanks. But just before we went on, we did get breaking news here. Let me get the other one. So the Yankees acquired relief pitcher, right-hander Clay Holmes from the Pirates for infielder Diego Castillo and Hoy Park. As mentioned, Lisa, Hoy, we barely knew you. We were getting hyped up to see another young lefty in the lineup, and you're gone already. I mean, I'm not going to go into a whole thing about Clay Holmes, but if you're watching, you can see on the bottom line, he has a 3-2 record this year, working 44 games. He's pitched 42 innings with a 4.93 ERA, which is not great, and a 1.43 WHIP, which is actually horrendous. The amount of strikeouts is solid, but the ERA, I think the numbers against righties is what we need to focus on, I guess, because when the news popped up, I was even telling Lisa, I'm looking at this guy's numbers, what the hell is this? What's going on here? But apparently versus righties, he has a 1.33 ERA in 27 innings, only giving up 17 hits, no homers, and a 1.73 batting average against. So I guess there you go. There's the answer to exactly why Cashman had made the deal for him. So effective against righties is the move here. I mean, I got to assume he's an upgrade over the likes of Brooks Christie, which we'll get into in a minute, because Brooks Christie is completely horrendous, and so is Nick Nelson. If adding Holmes helps us get rid of one of those two, because I already know Christie was sent back down to Scranton right after his fiasco on Thursday night. Mm-hmm. If it helps us prevent calling up guys like that again, fine. Holmes, you can't be that bad. You really can't be that bad, but not quite the deal that I was looking forward to, especially with the Pirates, because there is also Brian Reynolds on the Pirates, who really would be a real nice fit with the Yankees right about now. Another lefty bat that they have, who's also a center fielder. But both times when the news popped up, I got pretty hyped up, and then not so much. So.
All right, but we do have a couple of days left, so
yeah, we do.
Let's keep hope alive that the Yankees make some interesting decisions and see how that affects us moving forward.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It looks like we have a special pop-in guest here quickly. I'm pretty sure I know what he's going to be talking about, and you'll be familiar with him if you have watched the Empire 161 show. Tim.
Hey.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
What's up?
Nada. Lisa.
Hey, Tim.
Congratulations. You look good. You look good doing the show. You're doing a great job. I'm glad you're aboard. Yeah, man, you're doing a great job. So I'm so happy that you're doing it.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
As long as you have fun. Make sure you have fun.
A good time.
That's it. That's all that counts then. I see Frank. Frank, Frank's an all-star, right?
Frank's an all-star?
Frank watches every show. He's been on every show in the past week. Every one of them. So that guy deserves a star next to his name.
Wow. I did not know that. I mean, I saw him with some anti-Yankees comments there, so he kind of left him alone. But
he's been on the wrestling show. He's been on, I think he was on A to Z. I know he was on the Mets show. He's been everywhere. So I don't know. He's a PCP all-star at least.
Yeah, why not? Listen, Frank, thanks for watching. Whether you're hating the Yankees or not, thanks for checking the show. I hope you check out Granny's Peach Tea on Wednesday nights as well.
I think he did watch Granny. I think he was at Granny's last week when I popped in.
Yeah.
He was there too.
Wait a second. Keith is dropping it.
Sharing knowledge.
Aha. Bang. That's what this is about. Keith, thanks so much. Keith is on the Put in the Book show. So for Met fans, you're familiar with him. Keith is hooking us up with some inside info here. Tim, you got a special announcement though.
Well, I didn't really call about that. I just wanted to say, good luck with the show, and good luck to Lisa. I'm glad. I said I've been watching. I'm glad she's doing a great job. So I'm really glad that you're on board. But yes, I am starting a new show. I was hoping for this week, but I haven't been able to. My brain is on overload as far as the name and the logo and all that stuff. So, but yes, it will be a Star Wars show. Not just Star Wars. Well, yeah, it will be just mostly Star Wars. But I will throw in a Star Wars versus Star Trek every now and then. Star Wars versus Battlestar Galactica. Star Wars versus the fucking A-Team for all I care. I don't know. We'll just throw in a bunch of stuff in there. Just something to get going. Hopefully not tomorrow. Definitely not tomorrow. I need a name. I need a logo. I need a format. But yes, it's not just going to be the movies and the shows. It's going to be cosplayers I got lined up, tattoo artists. People get the like my sick ass. I get Star Wars tattoos. I got a whole bunch of people lined up who want to do the show. So hopefully it works out. Hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll have that done. But but said, good for you guys. Congratulations, Lisa. You're doing a great job. I will come bother you every now and then to poke. Hopefully we get ourselves something.
Yes.
They need us. They need something.
Congrats on that, though. Nobody better for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Star Wars. So
yeah.
As you both know, I am not a Star Wars fan. However, I know how much of a fan you are. So I know it's going to be really great and entertaining and lots of fun.
Yeah, I'm pumped up. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm excited to get that going. So like I said, normally I would just say, okay, I'm ready to go. But now I'm nitpicking. I'm nitpicking at every little detail that I want to incorporate. So hopefully in a couple of weeks that'll come through. But like I said, have a good show, you guys. Good luck. I said I'm happy the show is in good hands. This isn't goodbye. It's just see you later. That's what I'm going to say. Because I am going to come on and bother you guys every now and then. Like I said, we need a big deal. We need something to happen at the trade deadline, or they're sinking fast. So
is Clay Holmes not doing it for you?
Clay Holmes is not really doing it for me. I'd like to see a Trevor Story, Joey Gallo deal going on.
Oh yeah, that's
what I'm talking about.
But I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Anthony Rizzo, please.
Anthony Rizzo would be nice too. Oh my God, that's a dream team right there.
Yeah.
But so, I don't know. After these last couple of debacles they've had with that bullpen, I get headaches. I've been getting headaches. Yeah. Like little. This will be a quick story. I don't know if he's watching this show. I get a text to me. He knew I wasn't watching. We were doing something. Yankees no hit bid in the 8th. I said, "Oh." I said, "Dude, don't jinx it. Leave it alone." Come back, fucking an hour later, they lost. I was like, "What just happened?" "What just happened?" I had to go watch the highlights. I got a headache. I got an instant headache. I was like, "I can't do this anymore."
It's been that kind of season, man.
It is absolutely. And yeah, there he is, Brains. It was him, Brain Strauss. He's the jinxer. He's the one who jinxed me. He's the one who jinxed the Yankees. He said he texted me, no hit bid in the 8th. Nope. I said all I wrote back to him was shh. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then when I checked back, they lost. I was like, wow.
Tommy texted me also. He's like, "Oh, You know, he knows I'm watching the game, but he's doing it to fuck with me. He's just like, oh, look, you know, Herman's looking good, throwing a big caps, no hitter. I'm like, here we go. That was fun while it lasted.
And I'm such a sicko too. At least you don't know that about me either. But I won't put the game on. It's no hit bid in the 8th. I won't put it on because I'm thinking he has a no hit bid because I'm not watching. So I'm not gonna put the game on and screw that up. So I'm like, all right, now I got to sit here and wait to see what happens, and then hopefully go back and watch the highlights. So the next text I get is a loss, and I'm like, wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, you expect like a win 4-1, 4-2.
Yeah, something along those lines. Not a complete loss. I was like, holy crap. And it's happening far too often. So,
yeah.
But it's nuts. Oh, shut up, Keith.
Wow, 79 days. That's good. Great division.
Your closer is my fantasy team and needs to wake up.
Oh, don't worry about it. Keith got spanked 2 weeks ago by me in fantasy baseball, so that's okay. That was pretty awesome.
All right, guys, I gotta go get dinner ready for the kiddies and everything. Like I said, Lisa, thank you for taking over. Thank you. You're doing a great job. Good luck, guys, and I will come bother you when I have the opportunity to.
All right.
All right, man. Thanks for dropping in, Tim.
All right, guys. Catch you later. Oh yeah, I'll be on Granny's for that GI Joe thing.
My man. Yes.
I have a lot to say about Snake Eyes too. So.
Oh, I'm sure you do, and unfortunately, I do too.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you on Granny's.
All right, man. See you then.
See you guys later.
That's him.
All
Wait,
right.
one quick question about that. G.I. Joe Snake Eyes. Tough.
Without burying the lead of Wednesday.
Dang it. I was so excited by Henry Golden being Snake Eyes.
I'm not gonna I won't go fully into it, right? But
okay, all right.
I mean, I'll answer that part of it. He's really good at it.
Okay.
He's not the problem.
Okay, good.
It has other problems with other people.
Okay.
I feel like Frank Costanza now. It's just like, I got problems with you, and now you're gonna hear about it. All right, so so we covered the trade deadline. So let's revisit.
Take a trip back in time.
Let's take a trip back in time.
Happier days.
Yes, to happier days when the Yanks rained on the Red Sox parade. So after our last show was the first game of the Yankees-Red Sox weekend from last weekend. But Saturday, Yanks bounced back with a great performance by Garrett Cole, picking up his 10th win of the season. He got credited with a complete game because it was a rain-shortened 6-inning game. So, I mean, it still counts. After the last time we had a long rain delay, and we saw it happen against the Angels, I was not upset that we got a rain-shortened game. I was actually at the game with Angie, with my wife. So we were enjoying the game. But he went 6 innings, 5 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 11 Ks. DJ LeMahieu was 1 for 3 with an RBI. Gary Sanchez and Gleyber Torres actually went and hit back-to-back homers to take the lead, both opposite field shots. The Sanchez one I did not think was going over. I thought it was going to be a double in the gap at best. And all of a sudden, it creeped over the wall. I'm standing on my seat. I'm trying to will it over the wall. And somehow it got over. I was like, holy shit. And I know they replayed that one. And it was a fan who had reached out and put his arms out, and it kind of hit him in the forearms. Did you think it was going to be fan interference right away, or were confident that it cleared the wall?
No. To me, it didn't look like it was as egregious as in past fan interference episodes. So no, I thought it was going to stick.
Because from the live, when I started live, I was like, maybe not. And then when they showed the replay over and over again, I'm like, no, he put his arms out, but he was still clearly behind the wall. So I mean,
just behind the wall. But
behind it. You don't want to be that guy, because then you should get booed. Besides getting thrown out of the stadium, you should get booed out of the damn section if they would have carry a double.
Yeah.
Or they would have called him out, because they would have been an out on fan interference.
Yeah.
But that gave the Yanks the lead, and it was that rain shortened game. So that was a nice way to bounce back from that disappointing Friday night where they looked completely lifeless and everything.
Yeah, that was also the game where I texted you about Tim LaCastro and how he hit. I think it was him that hit the wall and just scared the crap out of me. And then turns out, it was
Tim LaCastro got hurt.
Something big. So was that the same game as Amber Gay?
No, that was the next day.
The next day.
Back to back back-to-back games. We lost from the next man up squad. We lose 2 outfielders, and I was sort of like I had Timmy Two Bags as a nickname lined up. I was pretty excited about him.
You were so excited about.
I was so excited about him. I wanted it to stick, and now he's gone, and we may never see him again. Who the hell knows? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he'll appear somewhere on the planet, but as far as a Yankee, I mean, that might be the end of that. That was pretty damn disappointing.
It was, yeah.
But nonetheless, the Yanks got the win. So I want to mention this to you. So the Muppets that are in 420B, who I brought up on the show multiple times. So the new ones, the woman, and she usually brings like her daughter or somebody. I don't know what their relationship is. They sit like to the right of me, like right behind me. So I kind of unfortunately have to hear all their crap. And it's just like nonstop. And when DJ comes up, right, when they were down 1-0, and DJ tied it up with the RBI single, as he's walking to the plate, all you hear is like, "Oh yeah, just ground out weakly to the left side and let's get this over with." I was like,
"Why are you there?
What is going on?
Why are you at the
What is this?
That's almost as ridiculous as the one Muppet that you told me about that intentionally wears the other team's jerseys at every game. Like, why? I don't understand that. Oh,
he was there in his Red Sox gear. He had like a Mookie Betts jersey, if I remember correctly. Yes. There's some weird cats that are in that section. Yes, I understand I'm in that section. I may be a weird cat too. That's fine. But there is some characters.
It is section 420.
It is 420, and it's B also. So, I mean, it's a little bit off brand.
420A, maybe,
Maybe C, but no, we're B. Yes. So there's some really odd characters in that section. Yeah, but I just
quick question.
Yeah.
Have you seen Cracker Jack? Is he back?
No, still no vendors.
Oh man.
Still no vendors, but there were vendors in Seattle.
There were vendors in a lot of the games.
I've seen vendors in Boston. Like now on TV, I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
And I see them, and I'm like, "Come on, Yanks, let's go! Like, bring it back." I don't know if they're back at Citi Field yet or not, but like, we got to get that going. We need the Cracker Jack. Maybe that's what it is. That's what the Yanks are missing this year.
Absolutely, that and the fact that we talked about this offline that they apparently don't do the YMCA dance anymore.
No, the grounds crew doesn't do it. They play the song and they just kind of go through the motions.
That's the problem.
It's lazy. It's a lack of hustle from the grounds crew. It's not inspiring the players or anyone else to get going. But so last Sunday night, I know. I want to hear what some of. I heard some stuff about what A-Rod had mentioned on the telecast on Sunday Night Baseball, but Yanks went in and they just kind of like ripped the Sox a new one. Honestly, like straight out from the beginning, 9-1. Jameson Tyone, not his best start of the week, but pretty solid one. He went 5 1/3, no runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 3 Ks. So not dazzling numbers for me. Hey, you got the win. No earned runs that's honestly the most important thing. It doesn't have to be pretty all the time. Gleyber Torres is 1 for 2, hitting his 5th homer of the year, driving in 2. Rough Odor is what I've been referring to him as. Rough Odor was 2 for 3 with his 10th homer of the year, 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs. Ryan LeMaire was 2 for 3 with a home run, his first of the year, with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. And it was a stolen base by Greg Allen, who I'm curious to see might be up for an award this week. But he was 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored, an RBI, and a stolen base. So this was the game where really the Yankees offense started looking like a diverse offense for like the first time in God knows when. They hit a couple of homers, stole some bases. There was a hit and run executed. I almost threw myself off the upper deck. I was like, what team am I watching right now? But it's nice, though. It's nice to get away from the analytical approach of sitting back and swinging for the fences and striking out, putting the ball in play. Players are in motion. It's also a nicer game to watch, like as a baseball fan, like action happening on the field. It's very nice. One thing that was troubling, though, I think, and maybe we're starting to get to the bottom of maybe some of the Yankees' problems, Lisa, is that along with the grounds crew not doing the YMCA, along with Cracker Jack guy not being in the stands, when LeMaire hit this home run, I was, I usually listen to the post game on the way back driving from the game because you're kind of like hyped up. And usually after wins, I'm not gonna lie, after some losses, I get so pissed off that I just put on music and that's it. I don't want to hear about it. John Sterling, no call for Lemaire. No call.
Is, like, he just didn't say anything?
No, he just said, "Oh yeah, no, it was a home run," and that's it. Like, no tagline, no name twist, no nothing. Like, when it happens,
Ryan Lemaire, hit it out of there.
Yeah, exactly. Boom, there you go.
Boom, right off the top of my head. Come on.
That's it. And that would be something Sterling would say. Absolutely.
Good.
No, nothing.
I mean, listen, every now and then when I'm falling asleep on the couch while watching the game, because I don't stay up late anymore, I'll go in my room and I'll put the game on my my Alexa thing. And so I'm forced to listen to the two of them, him and Susan Waldman. And not sometimes, all the time, there's so much dead air that I'm like, Alexa, are you working? Like, what's going on? Why is there no speaking right now? This is a radio show. What is going on with this game? And I mean, I'm kind of not surprised in a sense, but there's been so much more dead air in the last couple of years with the two of them. It's
gotta pick it up.
I don't know. Yeah. Again, this sense of laziness from everybody. Jeez, what's going on there?
We're starting to pinpoint it, but unfortunately, it was not the last time this week that I'm going to bring this up because. So after the off day, the Yankees came back. They had a 2-game set against the Phillies, which they had swept. So they swept the Phillies in a 2-game series. Tuesday night they had won 6-4. It was a Bull King game. That was the game where no, that wasn't actually the one. I was that the one when Wojciechowski started, but that was actually the Wednesday game, so I mixed that one for a second. But Sessa got the win in this game, and then Chapman saved his 17th of the season. So it was good to see Chapman gave up a home run to Andrew McCutchen, which still might be going, by the way, in the 9th inning. Thank God he had a 3-run lead going into that. But whatever. He still looked good, got the strikeouts. His fastball was where it needed to be, and I think that was the key takeaway. Who cares? You're up 3. If you go up a solo home run, who gives a shit? But Gardy had his 4th home run of the season. Stanton was 2 for 4. He hit his 16th of the year. Barry Sanchez 2 for 3 with his 17th homer of the year. And Esteban Florial had his first homer of his career. That was exciting to see. And he drove in 2. And Greg Allen was 1 for 2 with his 2nd stolen base of the year. Now, home run for Florial. No call.
No call again.
No special call again. Back-to-back games. Back-to-back games by John Sterling. Esteban, long gone. Something, anything.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. I really don't know. I think he needs to take he had like this long streak of never missing games, and then he was unfortunately forced to miss a couple games because he was sick. I mean, maybe John Sterling, you need to do some self-care and take a couple days off and come up with some new calls. Reset. It's okay. We all need to do that. Reset. Figure out a call for Lamar and for Florial. And,
Shots.
We need this. Because we love your calls.
We talk crap about them, of course. We mess around. Calls. Listen, it's become a thing, right? Like, I think we've just accepted it at this point. Absolutely. And whatever.
Because the Stanton one, I'm still like, okay, sure.
And he took a while to put that one together.
He did.
I mean, and these guys
get another language and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have a couple notes from the game. So as you mentioned, 4 of the Yankees hit home runs, and it was their 3rd win in a row, which was awesome. The player of the game was Chad Green. I'm going on the record as saying my favorite rookie is Greg Allen. He had a great game again, as you mentioned. And what did you say? Rough Odor? Is that how you're saying it now?
Rough Odor. That's going to be his name from now on.
Rough Odor was the Montefiore player of the game, player of the week. In the last 6 games, he's had an average of .333, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and an OPS of 1.151. And the Yankees were 8-3 in their last 11 games. So, we're all feeling really good about that. I do also want to recognize former Yankee Andrew McCutchen, who's having a crazy year. Mm-hmm. Since June 1st, he's had 9 home runs and 30 RBIs. And I like him. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram, but his Instagram page is hilarious. So I just like his sense of humor, and I'm really happy that he's doing well this year. Thankfully, the Yankees kept him kind of quiet when we played them, so he didn't do too much damage with us. But I'm happy. Good people deserve good things, and he seems like he's a really good guy.
Yeah, I actually got to go to his introductory press conference when the Yanks had acquired him. Yeah, he seemed like a pretty cool dude, and when he was here, I had no problems with him. I liked Kutch when he was here. He seemed like a pretty fun-loving guy, and even on I guess maybe his Instagram account maybe doubles his Twitter, but I used to follow him on Twitter. I may still follow him. But it used to pop up some interesting things. So yeah, good for him. Good to see him do well. But the Yankees win the game, which is the key part to it. But he could have his solo bomb and doesn't really affect anything.
Right.
Yeah, but the Yanks went on to close out that sweep, and they won in walk-off fashion in a wild game last Wednesday night, 6-5 over the Phillies. Gleyber Torres had his 6th home run of the season. Ruff Odor banged out his 11th home run of the season. Greg Allen stole his 3rd base of the year. So each 3 games in a row with a stolen base. This whole stretch was a lot of, using speed and athleticism along with some power, diverse offense. Something, you might want to keep going as things go on. As the season progresses, you want to make the playoffs. That's a pretty big key. Esteban Florial was 1 for 3 with a run scored in his first stolen base of his career. And Ryan Lamar was 1 for 1 with a game-winning RBI in the 10th. So the Yanks going into the 10th inning had kept Phillies scoreless, and then going into the bottom of the 10th, Gary Sanchez was the ghost runner or pretend runner or whatever goofy name we want to call it at that point. But Gleyber Torres led off the inning. So I thought it was pretty interesting, though, that for the Yanks getting knocked for so long about not playing small ball, had Gleyber Torres bunt. And Gleyber Torres has been hot this week. As you can see, his name keeps popping up in our recaps.
Yep.
But no outs, runner on second. He goes for a push bunt to the right side. Gets Sanchez over to third base with 1 out. And then Boone wisely with a lefty on the mound because Gardner was coming up. Pinch hits Lemaire, first pitch swinging. Bang, just go ahead and drives the ball to right field. If Girardi didn't have the defense drawn in, because they obviously had to come in and try to have a chance to throw Sanchez out, it was over his head, technically scored as a hit, but it would have been a sac fly anyway because it landed on the warning track. Mm-hmm. But it would have been it was nice to see ABC baseball executed 1, 2, 3. That's how you win a game. It's not complicated.
Yeah,
it's not.
Go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is that it's just not Gleyber swinging for the fences with no outs with a runner on second, and then have Gardy face the lefty and have him swing for the fences, and then I don't even remember who the hell was up after him, but they could have went ahead and swung for the fences too. I feel like a couple of months ago that would have been the game plan, and
absolutely,
who knows if that would have happened.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. I think there's been a couple of times where you and I have jokingly texted each other, "Oh my God, they stole a base," or "Oh my God, they laid down a bunt," or whatever. Yeah. And it shows because at that game, they had 3 steals that night, which was the most they've had since August 1st of 2020 versus Boston. So, wow. And they've had 5 steals. At that point, they had 5 steals in the last 5 games, as opposed to 5 steals in the previous 25 games before that. So shout out to, I feel like this is, rookie energy coming in and everybody else is catching that energy.
Mm-hmm.
I like the enthusiasm that it's bringing out. I just said Greg Allen is my favorite new rookie now, and I just feel like the excitement that they're bringing really helps, in the season that's been, we'll get to how the season's been in a few minutes, but it's exciting to watch when you play small ball like that. It makes it more interesting. I mean, home runs are fun. They're awesome. We love seeing them. John Sterling apparently picks and chooses when he does his calls now. Maybe he wants more small ball. Who knows? I don't know. But
he's protesting.
That's it. He's protesting. But it's fun. It's fun to watch like that.
Yeah, no, I've always just said, listen, a home run is never a bad thing. It never is. But you need a diverse offense. Let your smaller guys and your speed guys, you need athleticism. I think that's one thing that the Yankees, their regular standard roster, the way it's built is they don't go first to third a lot normally. They don't steal bases. There's no pressure on the defense. Those things matter. They're not going to show up in your analytics spreadsheet. These are real things. You have to force the defense to make plays, catch the ball, throw the ball, execute that. And that's what this does. They say speed slows down the game, which it does is because now the defense has something to think about. And like with Lisa, just like you said, though, it's much more enjoyable to watch a team that can score in many different ways. It's much better. I do have a quick note on this, though, courtesy of the great Katie Sharp on Twitter. So at this point, the Yankees in the last 3 games had 21 runs scored, 9 home runs, and 6 stolen bases. This is the 3rd time in franchise history the Yankees have had a 3-game span with 20 runs, 6 steals, and 9 home runs. They also did it from July 21st and 22nd, all right, in 2007, and May 22nd through May 24th in 1930.
Jeez.
That is crazy. Again, whenever some shit like this pops up, whereas for a first time or 3rd time in Yankees history, that's saying something because the Yankees have been around forever. So that's a pretty big deal.
It is.
So I thought that was actually a pretty cool number there. But then we headed to Boston for a 4-game set. That was a pretty big one. Going into it, you figured the Yanks had to go ahead and take 3 out of 4, or worst case scenario, split the series, which they had an excellent chance to do.
Oh, they did.
But let's get to the first one, which was a painful one. Last Thursday, the Yanks were stunned by the Red Sox 5-4. They walked them off. Poor Jordan Montgomery again, 5.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 walk, 6 Ks. By the way, the Yankees finally scored for him. They scored.
Yes.
Yes, it was Brett Gardner's RBI double the other way. That was the first time they've scored in like his last 6 starts, which is completely absurd. But the big story in the game, Gleyber Torres was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and his 7th stolen base. So Gleyber, starting to pick it up at the plate, starting to get that running game going also. He's joined in on the fun with Greg Allen and Tyler Wade, Brett Gardner here, so that's good to see. But the story of this game is Chad Green with the blown save in the 9th, because he was brought in because Aroldis Chapman had worked the previous 2 games. So Yanks normally do not like to go to Chapman for 3 games in a row, especially right now where he's been kind of just trying to find his way, where maybe you don't want to push him to do something here. Listen, I've heard the argument be made the last couple of days, like, oh, what the hell's Boone doing? Should have went to Chapman. You got to go with a sense of urgency. How about Chad Green gets the damn job done? I mean, he goes 1 inning, 3 hits and 2 earned runs, right? He got out of it with a tie game. But in the 10th inning is where the Red Sox had won it. And we got the likes of Brooks Kriske coming in, who with the ghost runner on second after the Yanks failed to score in the top of the 10th, Brooks Kriske goes ahead and becomes the first pitcher, and this is also courtesy of Katie Sharp on Twitter. Brooks Kriske becomes the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to throw 4 wild pitches in the 9th inning or later of a game.
Oh.
So we were just
not a stat you want to have on your resume.
I'm enamored with the first in Yankee history. Dude, this is the first in Major League Baseball history. He came in and completely looked like he had no clue where the hell anything was going. It was like hard to watch. It was like cringeworthy to watch.
Gosh.
And it was pretty rough. And he was outrighted after the game, which is where he should be permanently, to not come back ever again, Brooks Kriske. Yes, these are the days. We're in the days right now where I don't hate Luis Sessa anymore. I am fine with Luis Sessa because now I have Justin Wilson and the likes of Brooks Kriske and Nick Nelson to deal with. And Nick Nelson pitched in, and it's just, oh God. But it also just showed where Zach Britton is in spring training mode still. He's barely pitched 10 innings. I'm pretty sure it's under 10 innings pitched. He's still struggling with his command. You don't want to push Chapman for the 3rd game in a row. And these are the guys you kind of got to go to because you had nobody else at this point. The bullpen's been on fumes. But Chad Green had it. He had it ready to go in his hands. Jonathan Weisiger wasn't back yet. He was actually still on
next
the
game.
code. Yeah, he came back the next game.
Weisiger and Cortez were available the next game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So in that situation, they had nothing to deal with. But again, a lot of people killing Boone for not bringing in Chapman because, again, sense of urgency. I can honestly understand that's a fair point to make that case. But to me, going to Chad Green is your second best option then. Green's got to get it done. He spit the bit in this one and also the one against the Astros right before the All-Star break. I mean, if he's going to be one of your high leverage key guys, he's got to get the shit done.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that. That one really hurt. So at that point, I know there was also talk, worst loss of the year. Is this the worst loss? It's a gut punch. But
It's not.
I don't know. We have another one, another contender, and that was just yesterday afternoon. To go along with the Astros loss, the Angels loss. There was one against the Mets also with Chapman blew that one, but I don't know. I don't put that one as bad as these other ones. These other ones seem to be worse. But honestly, Friday night, though, was a weird game where Cole got the start. And you're figuring, all right, he's the guy you want on the mound to kind of right the ship after yet. I don't want to call these gut punches anymore. Boone keeps on referring to them as gut punches. This is worse. These losses are worse than gut punches at this point. You got to elevate it.
Oh, really? I was going to say, I think it goes a little bit lower than the gut.
Oh, yeah, no, why not? It goes there. And if we want to make it a general thing, I mean, I don't know. We can come up with something like a hot coal, like in the eye or something like that. I don't know. Like, it's bad. Think of the worst thing imaginable. We got to get worse than gut punch. But yes, it could be worse than that. But in a game where the Yanks did lead 1-0, Cole only lasted 5 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. But I was going to say Ray Devers, because that's his cousin that I used to work with actually.
Wow.
No, I did. Yeah, I actually used to work with Rafael Devers' cousin Ray.
Wow.
Back at CDM.
Did he talk to himself all the time too?
Yeah, I think that maybe it is a family thing. Yeah, I kind of think because
Wow.
I played softball and football with Ray, and he's a great guy, he's a super nice guy. But I remember when he got called up, he was like really excited. And apparently, he has another cousin in the minor league system. He was in a Yankee system at one point. I'm like, and I joked around with him like, "Why are you here? Where are you? Where are you on the baseball field? Like, what is going on?"
Oh, that's like the third Manning brother.
Exactly, like Cooper. I mean, but hey, Cooper played at least he played in college a little bit. I mean, hey, at least it's something. But yeah, you're right. He's not quite the Eli or Peyton. Vanessa Cortez, his first game back, went 2 innings, 3 hits. Also gave up a home run to Rafael Devers, striking out 3. Yanks offense really didn't have much going the entire night. I know Odor tacked on a run, in the 9th inning, but too little, too late there. But I guess the happiest part of the trip, was.
I want
go ahead.
Something. I want to name a couple of things about the game. So
yeah, go ahead.
This is one of them is just a fun fact. The announcers mentioned that Fenway Park opened the same week as the Titanic's demise in 1912, and that's the kind of thing that I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I just wanted to name that. Up until that game, DJ LeMahieu had reached base safely in 32 games. So shout out to DJ for that. And the other thing that I wanted to actually just mention was that I really appreciated a conversation that Paul O'Neill and David Cohn had. I don't know why they were talking about Luis Gonzalez, the former player, Gonzo, right? Luis Gonzo. Yeah. They were talking about him for some reason. I think it was because he is coaching the Puerto Rico team in the Olympics. So they started talking about him, and then they started talking about Puerto Rico. And Ed knows this. I am Puerto Rican, born in America, but my dad was born there. And my mom's Puerto Rican from America too. But they were talking about Puerto Rico, and they were talking about Winter League ball and how both of them had amazing experiences playing there in their winter leagues and how much they loved it. And Winter League ball in Puerto Rico right now is suffering because of all of the devastation from Hurricane Maria and how, the island hasn't gotten much support in rebuilding since then. And coronavirus also didn't help. They got hit really hard with coronavirus. So just wanted to say I really appreciate the two of them talking about that and bringing, light to fans about what's going on in Puerto Rico and in other countries and areas of the world that are still suffering from things that happened several years ago. So just want to say thank you, Paul O'Neill and David Cohn, for highlighting that and getting people to think about that a little bit too. That meant a lot to me as a Puerto Rican American. So had to
No, that's awesome. I actually didn't have a chance to hear this. I was in the Poconos, and I was watching in a house where the music was really loud and we didn't have the sound on. So, I mean, during these 2 games, I may have had quite a few adult beverages and maybe, got a little bit more annoyed than usual, or at least showed my anger a little bit more than usual. But no, those are pretty cool. Those are pretty cool facts. I'm glad they highlighted that as well. They're both great in the S booth. I mean, I had talked about that with Jerry. I love it when Conan and O'Neill are in there. They bring a lot of insight to the game, and it's just fun. They bring a lot of fun to it. So I think
and they tell great stories too.
Oh yeah,
it's hilarious.
I love it when Conan has to cut some of them short because he's about to go into somewhere that he's probably like, maybe I shouldn't be saying these things on the air. So let me just abruptly stop it right there.
Or he like cleans it up in a way that you're like, we know what you meant.
Yeah, exactly. we get it. The 90s Yankees were pretty legendary on some of their off the field activities as well.
Yeah.
But Saturday though, the Yanks had a very, very surprising comeback because they were like sleepwalking through this game for the first 7 innings.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, like please, anything get going. And they sure did. They scored 4 runs. They were down 3-0 and scored 4 runs in the 8th inning to take the lead and would not give it up, despite the fact they, tight wire rope act that they had to go ahead and walk with Chapman in the 9th inning. But I mean, I think those were earned. It wasn't like he was imploding or something like that. I mean, they just were doing the Sox were doing a good job. But Jamison Tyone, which I mean, the dude's been on a roll right now. He gets his 6th win of the season. Going 7 innings, which is, I think, the highlight for me, is going 7 innings. He's giving them length now. He's not killing the bullpen every time out. 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 runs, but 1 earned. Because Rough Oder was having a rough first couple of innings in the field. We'll just put it that way. Yeah, he was having some sloppy defense, but whatever. It was 1 game again. Since they won the game, you can kind of gloss over it. But Tyone had walked 3 and struck out 4. Chapman picked up his 18th save of the season. Rough Oder is the one but he did make up for it. He had the big hit, the big double the other way, going 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Gleyber Torres was 1 for 4 with an RBI and 2 stolen bases in the game. 2 stolen bases. Really getting into the stolen base thing.
Yeah.
So he has 9 now. That's wow. I mean,
who knew?
4 this week. Who knew? The Gleyber Torres can steal bases now. Yes, exactly. It was incredible. Like, look at that. We can steal bases and stuff like that. And it usually leads to wins. McGardy was 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Now, to talk about the Gleyber one. So, again, just 2 quick. Well, I want to call them Sharpies that we like to have from Katie Sharp on the show. So, Gleyber Torres, that was his 10th career go-ahead hit in the 8th inning or later. And that's the most on the Yankees since his debut in 2018. No one else has more than 6. So Gleyber, I mean, if anything, is pretty clutch. You want to kill him for this season and last season, not putting up the numbers that we were used to seeing? Very fair. But you see, him and Odor seem to get these hits when it matters. And Odor is having himself. He is heating up. He is. He's been playing really well.
He may be mentioned later on the show.
Yes, it is a strong possibility. This is also the Yanks' first win of the season when trailing by 3 runs at the start of the 8th inning. So not many comebacks by the Yanks too late in these games, but they did actually get on the board for that one, which was actually very nice to see. And then that takes us to the
heartbreaker.
Yeah, I guess that's the
hair puller. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So Yanks go ahead and were stunned by the Red Sox again, but 5-4 this time.
After a masterpiece, I just have to say, a masterpiece by Domingo Germán. Like, he was having such a great, beautiful game.
Yeah. Tim mentioned it earlier. Spoiling it. No,
I know. Good job, Tim.
No, but Domingo Germán took a no-hitter going into the 8th inning, and they gave up a leadoff double to Alex Verdugo, who, I mean, some were saying they wondered if Greg Allen could have maybe caught that ball or not. But considering right field, there was a lot of talk during the telecast of right field in Fenway Park, considering that you kind of have to play where you play. I mean, you still hit it hard as well. So Boone takes him out, brings in Johnny Lasagna. And, nothing. Nothing.
I mean, I was starting to worry if he actually didn't pass the protocol and was, still showing symptoms or something, because he looked so bad.
He had nothing.
I mean, he everybody, it was like batting practice off of him.
Yeah, so he takes the loss. No, not one out recorded. Gives up 4 hits and 4 earned runs because all 4 were charged to him. So I think I'm going to get to that in a second. But, Rough Odor was 2 for 5 with his 12th home run of the year, 2 RBIs. Gleyber Torres continued swinging a good bat, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Gio Urshela, who was back off the COVID IL list, was 1 for 3 with an RBI. Gary Sanchez had a triple.
Gary Sanchez had a triple, and this speaks to what you just said about the outfield at Fenway Park.
Yes.
Because in no other world would Gary Sanchez ever get a triple. I was watching the game, and somebody was like, is he running in slow motion? I was like, nah, it's just the way he runs.
That's it.
Like, he's really running hard, but he just is not a fast runner. Sorry, Gary, I love you, but it was pretty. It was pretty bad. But one thing we didn't mention about Domingo Germán is that he actually got 4 strikeouts in the 7th inning.
Yes, he did.
At the bottom of the 7th inning, 4 strikeouts, which made him the only the 4th Yankee ever to do that as well. I thought that was pretty cool.
When that happened, I was really starting to think this is going to happen.
Yes,
it's going to happen. It has to happen.
Yes. And then Verdugo was like, I'm getting you back for your fan throwing that ball at me. I'm going to start this crazy rally.
It could be. But let's go back to the 8th inning, though. I mean, when Boone goes ahead and goes to Loaizaga obviously has nothing. At the time, it's 4-3 with runners on 2nd and 3rd and no outs. So that's when he decides to take Loaizaga out. At that point, to bring in Zach Britton, not a big strikeout guy, mostly a ground ball guy. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not an MLB manager, and neither are you, Lisa, but I think we can look at this and simply say, all right, I'm going to go to Zach Britton, who you trust, with 2nd and 3rd with no outs. And as we know, you can have they can score on a ground ball. They can score in these situations. You don't bring the infield in because obviously a base hit is going to score 2 instantly. Why would you wait so long to take Loaizaga out? He passed the P as soon as he hit that 3 batter minimum, out of there. Done. Yes. That's it. What the hell was he thinking?
I don't know what he saw that nobody else saw. It was really that blew my mind too, because they even said it. Michael Kay and the team were like, okay, he's faced the requisite 3 batters. And I was like, yes, take him out. Take him out. I don't know.
What is going on? Did he fall asleep in a dugout or something? Did the analytics spreadsheet say, big letters, do not take him out? And I'm like, what happened there?
No idea.
I was beyond furious when I saw this. So listen to this. This is a stat put out by Yankees, NY Yankees Stats, which is another good follow on Twitter. Since June 30th, okay? So it's been, a little under a month. Yankees starters, 2.85 ERA, okay? 2nd in all of baseball. Yankees relievers, 6.33 ERA, 30th in all of baseball. The Yankees bullpen, which has been a strength for them for, God knows how long now. It's been quite some time. The Yankees bullpen has been pretty locked down. And now it's like the season starts and the starters are getting it done, and they're not getting it done. Now they're getting it done again. Then the relievers weren't getting it done. Now they were getting it done. Now they're not. They were getting it done for a while. Now they're not getting it done. It's almost just like Murphy's Law with this team this year. It's like whatever can go wrong will go wrong at times. And I don't want to go down the negative rabbit hole, but I also am not going to, put lipstick on a pig either and just blow smoke up everyone's ass. Like, this team can still do what they need to do eventually, right? Like, to get to the playoffs. And, I do want to see them, like, as buyers at the trade deadline this week more than, homes. But, like, it's just, these are things you got to clean up, man. Like, and in one game, it's Loaizaga. Other times it was Chapman. A couple of times it's been Green. It's not even like it's just one guy. It's like, oh wait, this guy's hot, so I'm going to go to him. He blows it. Oh, all right, so he blew it. I'm going to go to this guy, and then he goes ahead and he blows it too. It's almost like, you got to get everyone in sync and just on the same page something this year.
I'm telling you, I feel like they need to do some team building with the pitching staff. Like they need to have trust falls and have them journaling and stuff, because I just feel like they need to bond more, because you get, like you just said, you go to one guy and he's hot, and then all of a sudden he's not, right? You can't rely on one guy being consistently hot. Listen, everything that's hot gets cold, and then it has to heat up again. So you can't rely on one guy to consistently be the one that gives you that production that you need. You have to have multiple guys warm to hot, right? And give the one guy who's going from hot to cold a chance to regroup himself while the other ones pick him up. But to focus on just one while everybody else is cold is not good. So I don't know. I think they need like go camping today on the off day, go camping and bond with each other and get things together, because I don't know what's going on. But yeah, we can't rely on Jonathan Weisiger was just on the COVID IL. Like, I wasn't expecting him to be great, on his first game back from the COVID IL. I don't know what he was doing during that time. He could have legitimately been sick. We don't know. Yeah. So give the man a chance. And then I know, Cortez, we'll talk about in a few minutes, he's going to be pitching one of the games with the Yankee Tampa series. He's starting. And, let's see how he does. He was hot up until he got on the COVID protocol list. So
I'm just glad to see he didn't shave the mustache while he was out on COVID protocol. Can't have that.
We know somebody who's probably very happy about that too.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Somebody who's rocking the same kind of stash.
Yes. Yes, he
At least I think they still are anyway. I hope they are.
Yeah, I would say so. He is. He definitely is.
Okay, good.
I was just thinking about it for a minute. I'm like, wait a second, is he? I'm like, no, he is.
Okay.
And it's on full display because, he's not wearing a mask anymore at softball. Yes. So, yeah, it's definitely front and center.
Shout out to our friend. You know who you are.
Yes, I can't imagine. Whatever, we'll say it. I can't imagine Mike watching this because he's a Cubs fan. But
you never know. He might just tune in and support us. So
I would like that. That would be nice.
It would be nice. We are teammates. So
all right, so let's get to our weekly awards here, as we do. The formerly.
Yes, go ahead. No, I was gonna say we're trying something new.
Yes, the former I Have Spoken award. Okay. Which is going to be now the King of the Hill. Maybe even some might say the top of the heap. So, Lisa, who is your king? Who is the King of the Hill? Which is perfectly appropriate for our pitcher of the week. So, who is your King of the Hill for this week?
I have to go with the person who was let down by his teammates. I have to shout out Domingo Germán, because he had such a beautiful start against the Red Sox, and his teammates did not back him up. It was phenomenal. 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, one walk, and 10 strikeouts. Come on, you don't get much better than that. You do because you win the game, and it's not his fault.
No, that's pretty fair. So I guess the initial King of the Hill pitcher of the week is Jameson Taillon. Okay. I'm going to go with him.
Not mad at that either.
Yeah, picked up 2 wins. He went 5 in the third and 1, 7 innings in the other. And he's starting to give the Yanks length. He's starting to turn it around, becoming a reliable arm in the rotation for the Yanks when they desperately needed it. So, yeah, my guy is Jameson Taillon. So, all right, I guess that brings us to, I guess we're going to go, something? Maybe we will do it. Maybe we're going to try this one first.
This is an on-the-fly edit?
This is on-the-fly edit right now because I was not liking what we were going with initially. Top of the heap is going to be we're going to give it a shot. Both quotes from New York, New York.
That's appropriate.
That is our top of the heap offensive player of the week for me. is Gleyber Torres. I am gonna go with Gleyber Torres. He hit 333 on the week with a 393 on base percentage, slugging 667. He had 2 homers, 7 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases. To see Gleyber starting to wake up and get into the swing of things, and also get the legs moving, using some more of the athleticism, that's going to be my top of the heap. That's why I think it's the top of the heap this week.
All right. That's a good choice. He was one of my little shout outs. I'm going with your boy Rough Odor, because I feel like he has been very consistent and getting those clutch hits for the Yankees. He'll lay down a bunt if he feels like that's what the situation calls for. They had a stat for him that I think his slugging percentage was a 621. If I'm not mistaken, he was the Montefiore Player of the Week earlier in the week, and I just feel like he's like this iteration of the Yankees, Nick Swisher. I feel like he's the hype man of the team, minus the hair because he had to get rid of the beard and he doesn't have any up top. So, and his batting average went from a 224 on July 18th to a 230 as of July 25th. So. He's, producing, and I think that's great. And of course, not only am I going to shout out Gleyber Torres, but I have to shout out my favorite rookie, Greg Allen, too, because he's just been doing a really great job coming into the team, halfway through the season. That's a lot of pressure that a rookie puts on themselves. And he had to, he's working the area of the team that is like the most famous Yankee right now, right? So once Judge comes back, we don't know what's going to happen with Allen, and he's trying to make a mark and be like, hey, don't forget me when the big guy comes back. So I kind of hope they don't. I kind of hope they keep him close and take advantage of his speed and all the stolen bases. The outfield, of course, Judge definitely has the upper hand with that, but on the base paths, he's producing. So I'm digging it, and he's getting some really great hits too. I like the way he's swinging the bat.
No,
and
yeah,
he's
we
a switch
texted.
hitter. And he's a switch hitter.
No, we texted about Greg Allen during the games, and I gotta believe his left field is probably his at this point, or center field. I mean, he could play all 3 of them too. I mean, Gardy hasn't lit it up to the point where he warrants playing every single day at this point in the season. So I have a good feeling Greg Allen, as long as he keeps hitting and keeps producing, he'll definitely have a spot in the lineup, even when Judge comes back this week. Before we transition on, though, our contributor to our shows as well.
Oh, there he goes.
Joe Garcia. And this might be, Lisa, do not take this dig that's about to come. It's not for you. This is for Joe. So, but he's right. I'm so happy football season about to start because the Yankees are just about done. Sorry, Lisa. It's late July. They still got 2 months left to play, so to call it now, kind of a little premature evaluation. That does happen.
Conversation that I have with him before, during, and after every game these days. My other brother and I just tell him, like, get off the group chat. We don't want you on it anymore. The 2 of us are Jets fans, so like I can't talk too much, but like
that's where the dig is coming.
He thinks he's gonna have a great season. As a Jets fan, I know I can't wait to talk smack about that team to him, because I'm not giving up on my Yankees. I never have, never will. But he is so quick to give up on them, and it hurts my heart because that's my brother.
Joe, you're a Jets fan. Do you really want football season to come? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? I don't think so. I don't think you want football season to get here. I think you want baseball to be played all year long. Because, I mean, if we're going to really compare the Yankees and the Jets, and I'm not Lisa, you know I'm not a hater on the Jets. Even though I'm a Giants fan, I am not a hater on the Jets at all. I don't really think you want football season to come, Joe. Not really. Kind of see another 2 to 3 win season in your future coming up. That gets old really fast. So stick with the Yankees, buddy. Trust me.
Got old like 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And
Gosh.
yeah, that's a rough go right there. All right, but let's move it on to our preview for Yanks Rays. So Lisa, take us through the pitching matchups for the upcoming huge series for the Yankees because they're not out of the weeds yet of the gauntlet of a schedule that they've had between facing the Red Sox in 2 4-game series back-to-back weekends. Phillies so-so, but they're not a pushover. But after the Rays, though, they will be playing the Marlins in the weekend series. So that's a team you do need to pick up 2 out of 3, or God forbid, even a sweep, perhaps. What? Yes, a sweep. Hey, we swept a 2-game series.
We did.
We did sweep a 2-game series. I know we're allergic to sweeping things. But Lisa, go ahead. Take us through the pitching matchups for the upcoming Yankees-Rays series.
Yeah, so starting tomorrow, we have Shane McClanahan versus Jordan Montgomery. McClanahan has a 4-3 record, 3.88 ERA, and 78 strikeouts. And our buddy Jordan Montgomery is 3-5 with a 3.96 ERA and 105 strikeouts on his resume right now.
So do you think the Yankees score a few runs for Jordan Montgomery? Like a few?
Gosh, I mean, listen, they have a 1-game streak of doing so now. That's how I'm looking at it. So, yes, I really hope that they do. But we'll see what happens. It's a tough team. Like you said, it's going to be a little bit of a tough series for them. So we'll see how they do. But I hope and pray, Jordan Montgomery, that streak continues. I want to say 2-game streak for you because it was a long time coming.
Well, Lisa pointed out something that was interesting, though, is that I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll save that actually for another game. That's a good point because it was about a roster move that was made as we were about to start our show.
Okay. And then on Wednesday we have Michael Wacha, which I think we just need to call him Waka Flocka. So that's what I'm going to do. Michael Waka Flocka, who has a 2-2 record, 5.16 ERA, and 57 strikeouts, versus our buddy Nestor Cortez. He has an 0-0 record, but he has an 0-0 record, but he has a 1.95 ERA, and he has 34 strikeouts on his resume. So let's see if Nestor can, pull one out for us again the way he did the other time that he started, where he actually, I think he went 4 or 5 innings, if I'm not mistaken. If he could do that again, at least get to 4 or 5 innings, that would help us out big time. But we'll see. We'll see how that game goes. And then in the closing game of this series, we have Luis Patino, who has a 1-2 record with a 5.26 ERA and 28 strikeouts, and against our ace Garrett Cole, who has a 10-5 record, 2.74 ERA, and 166 strikeouts. Going for him right now. I feel like that matchup, there he is, and you're going to the game in a couple of weeks where it's Top Gun Day, aren't you?
Yes, Top Gun bobblehead day. If I find an extra, I'll definitely hook you up with that.
I appreciate it. But I mean, that one right there seems like that should be the sure win right there with that matchup to me doesn't balance out.
Yeah, the Yanks got a huge advantage going into that one. I think, you actually caught it. You caught it before even I did, because part of the corresponding moves to make for Clay Holmes adding coming to the roster was Brantley, who had the base running gaffe, which I think might try to completely forget that had happened on a fly ball to right field. Was it Saturday, where he took off and was just like running around the bases and got doubled off at first, which, by the way, they played on WFAN this morning, John Sterling's call of it. And so he's doing the game off a monitor, and he couldn't see that Brantley took off. So he just is not even mentioning it. Casually like, oh, yeah, there's 2 outs. Austin's like, wait, what? Brantley ran? Wow, what do you know? And I was waiting for it. I'm like, that's baseball. I thought that was coming. Like, he just inexplicably took off, but he was outrighted, though, right? I'm sorry, no, he wasn't outrighted. He was sent back down to Scranton. So to make room, which their Yanks must be feeling pretty good, because it's about Higashioka returning tomorrow, because they're going to need a second catcher. So you would lead you to believe that Kyle Higashioka is going to return to the roster tomorrow night and probably catch Cole on Thursday. Not that the Cole Sanchez thing isn't possible anymore, but it is a day game after a night game. Catchers usually get that game off, so it does line up where Higgy will probably get the start on Thursday to catch Garrett Cole. you would assume that would it makes sense. It's not forcing the issue. And I also hopefully, fingers crossed, that means that Judge can be expected back sometime during this Rays series. I mean, hopefully tomorrow night would be the perfect one to come back to him. Because this is a huge series. You need every win.
Yeah.
And we'll hopefully we'll get some deals going to start shoring up this team and get the stretch run going, because there's only a few days left before the trade deadline. So, guys like Anthony Rizzo and Brian Reynolds and Sterling Marte, Trevor Story. I'm just throwing it out there to the universe because I've been hoping for Anthony Rizzo. I feel like this since this entire season of the show. It's been thrown out there constantly. So hopefully that's a thing. Listen, if the Yankees trade for Anthony Rizzo, Lisa, you're going to get a text saying we're going to do a special edition show immediately, like 5 minutes after the trade is done. If you're home, I'm going to tell Faraci we're going on. That's it. We're going to have an Anthony Rizzo party. I might just sit here smiling the whole show and not say anything. I might have you just go ahead and do all the talking because I'm going to be that excited if that shit goes down. So we shall see how it goes. But any kind of updates or anything like that, we'll make sure we share it. If you're on Facebook, check out the Empire 161 show group. Join the group. It's a public page. You don't need no admission required. Just join us, follow us. We share all updates, highlights, whatever the heck we can find. It's updated in real time, so check that whole thing out. But yeah, I think overall that kind of does it for us this week. So, Lisa, you got any final thoughts before we sign off?
No, I'm just looking forward to continuing to play small ball out there. I want to see more stolen bases, more aggression, trying to turn a single into a double if appropriate, stop swinging for the fences all the time. My love on the team. I want to see Giancarlo Stanton do something. Like, please stop, because the way he's moving in the batter's box is driving me crazy.
Too much movement.
Too much movement in the batter's box. It's ridiculous. And for somebody who, like, his swing is so awesome when it's like just all arms and he whacks it out of here. Like, just go back to that. Go back to that, please. Talk to Gleyber Torres, because Gleyber Torres figured out what was going on with him.
Yeah,
and it was in a similar vein. So I would love to see more consistent hitting with some of the guys. Definitely want to see Judge back out on the field. And but I also still want Greg Allen to be around too. So I don't know.
Greg Allen ain't going anywhere.
A little conflict there. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how they do with this Tampa series. And then take it down to the Marlins, where I'm sure we'll get a glimpse of Derek Jeter in the owner's box.
I'm sure we're going to get some glimpses of him. Posada works for them too, so I'm sure we'll get some glimpses of Posada probably in the stands. And if it is to be believed, there is a rumor going around, right? I don't want to say that I'm starting it because it came from Aaron Boone's mouth, that there's a possibility, right? We're both sitting down. I hope everyone else is sitting down too. That Giancarlo Stanton might play the outfield in Miami. Oh! But he also said this last weekend in Fenway. So we don't actually know if it's true or not.
Oh my gosh. Please.
Please let it be a thing. Please let that be a thing. It's not so bad. Maybe he'll be back in Miami and remember his NL MVP days. Maybe like, hey, you know something? I used to be that guy. I can be that guy again. And then be that guy. That's it. Just be that guy again. It's not so tough.
It's not so tough.
So, all right. That pretty much what is going on here.
There we go.
There for a second. So we want to get back to hearing this more after some Yankee wins again. But thanks for joining us tonight, or whenever you're catching it. If you're not catching the live show, we really appreciate it. If you're on Facebook, check out the Empire 161 show group. Join the page, like us. You'll see our show there all the time. Check out Pop Culture Pros. That's the mothership we're a part of network. So check us out there. If you're on YouTube, check out Pop Culture Pros. So hit subscribe button and check out all our shows. If you like what you heard here, follow us at Empire 161 Show. If you're into the Mets, because we do have some Met fans that check out our show and do support, we appreciate it. But you can also check out the Put in the Book show if you're with Faraci and you guys. If you're into wrestling, check out Tim and Eric. On Tuesday nights, they do the Just Too Sweet show. That's some good stuff. If you're into movies or TV shows or anything related to comic books, you can check out Granny's Peach Tea, where I'm there with Jason and Tony. We cover everything else. We'll be talking about Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe. We're actually doing a full-out G.I. Joe episode on Wednesday. We're going to be talking about 2 episodes of the cartoon. We're going to be talking about the other movies that were maybe not so great. And we're going to be talking about Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins. And you can find out a full review versus the hand motion that I've done before. So if you want to hear the full thoughts, come check us out. We'll be doing all in G.I. Joe. So we can't wait to see you then. All right? So Lisa,
leave us some comments. Give us some feedback.
Yes, we're all about it. We're all about it, baby. But ultimately,
Yes,
let's go Yankees.
Yes, let's go Yankees. And I have to call out Farachi. Farachi, I want to make it to the staff page. I'm just saying. I'm saying it live. Put me on that staff page.
Come on, boss. Get it going, buddy. Let's go. All right? I feel like throwing in if George was alive, Lisa would be on the page again. We'll use that Yankee fan model thing. Everything's as if George was alive. So, all right. So if anything, we'll go ahead. We'll see you next week. And let's go Yankees.
All right. Bye,
Peace.
everybody.
King of the Hill.